set to go. Younghoe Koo ready to do the honors. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. Stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. This defense for the Bears, they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard. Now they try the right side here. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Greg Newsom. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. Remember, Charles, this is the #1 defense in the NFL, and they prove their mettle here, forcing the turnover on the opening possession.
And sometimes when you play a team that has that reputation, it's earned it by their play. The psychology is, okay, they're #1. They have to prove it to us, and they tried to attack. They found out that that ranking was real.
And if history is any indication, when this defense gets off to a good start, look out.
Yeah, their offense plays off of them awfully well, too.
And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
Throwing on second and long. Fields. Looking right sideline, that's complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A huge play there for Chicago.
You can feel the effort all the way up here. He tried his best to get there. Didn't quite make it, but down around the 2-3-yard line, you got to love the effort, and especially the big play that gave his offense a great opportunity.
On second and goal. Fields to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3 and not giving up 6.
Now Fields on third and goal. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Officially nothing on that one. No gain. So they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the sign judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down. A big play there on the catch and run.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3. Here's a 2nd and 7. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Touchdown, Vikings! A great play there, with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Bouncing back nicely from that bad opening drive where he threw the interception. Drive number 2 leads him right down the field and into the end zone.
So obviously his confidence was never lost, and that's a good thing to see. Great quality to have. You absolutely must maintain that as a quarterback. But I have to think that they're probably still on the script that they prepared for this game. Just the 2nd drive. They've worked on these plays all week in practice. Put them to good use on that one.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
They're at the halfway point of the season, Charles. 8-0. What a great start. Clearly a Super Bowl contender, if not the outright favorite, through 2 months to win the whole thing.
Well, there aren't too many bad things you can say right now because this team is playing pretty well. They've had a couple of injuries. That could plague them down the stretch. But their intensity doesn't waver. I think the road to the Super Bowl is going to go through them in the playoffs. And if you're on their road, things could be bumpy for you.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a 1st down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. A shotgun snap, Fields. Thomas brings it in. Touchdown, Chicago! A great effort there, with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Bears have retaken the lead. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead is now 10-7.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they come in losers of 2 straight. And remember, they've got the open date on their calendar next weekend, but you think it's vitally important, Charles, that they focus on the task at hand here?
Absolutely, because these players, they know what's coming up, and the difference between taking time off following a win versus doing so on a 3-game losing streak, that's absolutely...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll be a long loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second.
Well, they tried to go with a little play action there, but nobody on the defensive side bit.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way and ultimately got the sack. On offense, sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
Well, as we get ready for third down, let's go back and recap here. The sack on the first play of this drive, that threw a wrench in what they were trying to accomplish because they were compelled to throw the ball on second down. A running play was not in the works. And that incompletion set up another passing down here on 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. 10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And taken right on the 30. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5, and the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number 1 goal? Make the playoffs. Number 2, win your division. Number 3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number 1 seed so you get that first-round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
On first down, it's Fields.
He's going to air this thing out deep for Thomas. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. A big play there. With his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Bears are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And, Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and that'll make it 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. And a throw right sideline is complete. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is down to a field goal. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment. That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
From the gun, here's Fields.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's caught inside the 35. And finally out of bounds, just a few yards short of the goal line at the 3. A huge play there for Chicago.
We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with...
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bears will extend their lead. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he's able to get up here to the 26. The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. On play action, they'll throw. Pressure comes, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead them to 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He'll take it at the 42. So holding there on the return, and that'll back him up to start the next drive.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy call right there, partner. I think when the officials look in their manual and see the expression jersey getting pulled, that's a flag coming out every time.
On first down, Fields.
Flush to his right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
So, CD, you look at this offense and what they've been able to do. 8-0, perfect through the first 2 months of the year. Second half of the season still to come, we get that. But what kind of a percentage chance do you think that they have of running the table?
Partner, I think it's hard to say because history would tell us that the chances aren't good at all. We've seen a lot of good teams get to this point, and then they have that one bad week and takes them out of the running. I'm going to say 25%, and I feel like I'm being generous with that number.
Dancing to his left. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach. Let's face it, this season certainly has not gone the way many had expected or at least hoped. And I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier this week.
Yeah, we certainly did, didn't we? Because, let's face it, he's heard the whispers, and they're going louder that he shouldn't be around next year. He essentially stormed out of that meeting you just referenced with the reporters. How did he end it? We're done here. Well, that's a function of losing and all the pressure that's on him. Hear about pressure creating diamonds? In this case, it's bursting the pipes of the coach.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off at the 30, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it was a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They go play action here on first down. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's second down.
But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when he clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle him. That's what you're looking for.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Looking for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And the Bears are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Eluding the pressure right. This will be incomplete. Oh, a dream chance for a D lineman, but he couldn't pull that one in. You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's real.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the offense will cover this one up, but they'll be pushed back inside their own 10. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. Now a timeout called with 3 seconds to go. And, of course, they're in field goal range in the final seconds of this first half. And his kick is good. So we reach halftime with the visiting Bears out on top here. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it. But I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and get them.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's second and a country mile. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
The gun, Fields.
Off to Thomas on the left side. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 30.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A great play there. 30 yards. And the Bears will add on to their lead. Koo able to connect on the extra point. And the lead now up to 14.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again, 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
Following the fumble recovery, Fields got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. A great effort there. There to make the grab. And the Bears use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up.
2nd and 1. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now a handoff as they run left side. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on 1st down. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They'll try and throw for it here. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And that's a big pickup of a 1st down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
Now a 2nd down and 6.
He'll look to throw. Taking a shot for Samuel. That's caught at the 25. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 26. That reception, his 600th NFL catch. Congratulations. Quite the accomplishment. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Back to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. inside the 5. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line.
CD, he tried to kind of lob that one in there. It looked pretty going through the air. The problem was it was in the air a little bit too long.
Yeah, that's a tough one because for that type of a route and what he tried to do and needed to do, he had to put a little air under it, and the defender was actually able to take advantage of it because it hung up there just long enough for him to get there and take it away.
Now a first down throw, Fields.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Now Fields.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. The former number 3 pick, Joey Bosa, bringing the lumber that time.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss.
On 2nd and a long way to go.
Fields.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Here's Fields.
Wide open receiver, complete.
And he will have the Bears' 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think he continued to do so.
Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Back to throw. Fields.
Over the middle, complete. It's Thomas. Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there. 57 yards.
And the Bears add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
And he's got room. And finally he goes out of bounds right at the 35-yard line.
61 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. And now here's a carry heading left. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Now a handoff looking right.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
Puts it on the carpet. It's out. And this is picked up by the Bears. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Not the trend he wanted to start the season, with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed, because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Throwing on second and long. Fields. He gets it to Thomas. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on third down, forcing the errant pass. Fourth down coming up.
Here comes the Bears punter now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And he'll take it on this side of midfield. 7 yards on the return after a punt of 39. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. On third down, he'll drop to throw. This will be caught. It's Samuel. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a fourth down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Bears will get the football back. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. And incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields.
Flushed out right. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the 4th quarter.
Throwing again is Fields.
Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Fields on 1st down.
Letting one go deep for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And the Vikings are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And just looking ahead, it would appear that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. Now a play fake here, and he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Greg Newsom. And the Bears are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you could put yourself in jeopardy.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Fields. Escaping the pressure right. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end. But now this game is over. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking.